When the Hebrews went north into Palestine, they encountered a people that were already there for thousands of years. They were called Palestinians. So when they went into Palestine, they had already learned all the wisdom and the religious teachings of Isis, spelled I-S-I-S. Then they learned the new concept of the new religion of Amun-Re, R-A. And now they encountered the Palestinians, and the Palestinians' god was El, the planet Saturn, L-E-L. Consequently, the religion grew out of Isis, Ra, El, I-S-R-A-E-L. Israel is nothing more than Isis, Ra, and El. Consequently, there's nothing holy about Israel. And why is Jerusalem called the Holy City? The Holy City is because every kind of licentious, filthy, degenerate religion that can come into the mind of men has been practiced there. Everything from child sacrifice, pornography, violence, human sacrifice, I don't care how filthy it is or how dirty it is, they were doing it in Jerusalem. Anything that is truly enlightened and intelligent wouldn't have a damn thing to do with you. All you do is child sacrifice, pornography, violence, money grubbing, money changers.
Most people never question, why do Catholic priests wear black robes? Kids that graduate from high school wear black robes. Judges wear black robes. Rabbis wear black robes because black robes represent the planet Saturn. They are a symbol for the planet Saturn. Saturn was called by the ancient people Lord of the Rings, and Saturn is Lord of the Rings. This is why women were told in the ancient world to listen to their god, and the concept was they would wear an ear ring. Men were to get married before their gods. They wear a wedding ring because the old ancient god of the Middle East, one of the ancient gods of the Middle East, was the planet Saturn. Saturn was directly connected to Yahweh, the Hebrew God. And so this is why even today the Jews celebrate the worship of Saturn. Saturn in the old Phoenician language was called Shabbath. Look up in the Phoenician language, you will find that the planet Saturn was called Shabbath. And his worship, to honor him once a week, was called Sabbath. So when the Jews are having Sabbath, they're actually paying homage to their god Saturn, Lord of the Rings. I think that we might be seeing a war being put together right now, not by men. And consequently, the Masons in Europe refer to their masters as, quote, the hidden chiefs or hidden masters. Somehow or another, the hidden masters behind world events, today we refer to them as Illuminati or whatever. I'm more interested as to who are the gods behind world affairs. Who are the brilliant minds at the top of the pyramid, symbolically? Who are the intellectual elites behind world events? I'm totally sure there's only a handful, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they were the Elohim, the Anunnaki, the men who look like men. You know, so many people have said, how can these people go to war killing innocent women and children, like the First and Second World War, murdering and killing? How could men do this? I don't think men are doing it at all. I think that there are powerful entities in this world who look like men, and they give the orders, and you better jump. And I don't care if you call yourself president, just don't matter. If you get in their way, they'd sooner kill you as anybody else. They got an agenda, and you had better jump when they say.
Why did Judas go out and kiss Jesus? The scripture, you know how in the scripture talks about Judas went out and kissed Jesus? And most people think Judas went out and kissed Jesus to identify. It doesn't say that. It says he went out to kiss Jesus to betray him, not identify. What do you mean betray? That's interesting, because even the mafia today, when they're going to kill you, they give you the kiss of death. They've kissed you off. Why? Because in the old ancient world, when a scorpion bites you, the scorpions in the Middle East have two stingers, one on top of the other. And when they bite you, they leave a cut in your skin that looks just like a human lips, looks just like lips. And consequently, the ancient people said that you just got the kiss of death. He just kissed you off, okay? And consequently, that's what Judas was doing, giving him the kiss of death. Why? It has to do with astrotheology. Very interesting stuff.
That's why motion picture stars are called movie stars, because in the Bible, stars were referred to as lesser illuminaries. So these lesser illuminaries are working for the big Illuminati. So the big Illuminati are using the lesser Illuminati. The lesser illuminaries are just stars.
Now we have pictures with the president with his hand stretched out, holding a red rose.
But I have about 15 major color pictures of communist leaders throughout the world holding a red rose in their hand. And these are from newspapers and magazines. I began to pick up on this because someone alerted me to it, that the symbol of the red rose implies not only socialism and communism, but a secret society operating behind socialism and communism that uses the red rose.
This way out Willie holding the rose. We find Khrushchev. We find
all the communist leaders,
all the communist leaders, and then we find the president of the United States over in his early years leading anti-American demonstrations in the Soviet Union.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that it's not enough to say these things. You really must show the pictures so that people will see that what we're talking about here are symbols and emblems.
Well, even Hitler used red and black, didn't he? So
Elohim are the Anunnaki. They were the Anunnaki, and it is their sons born on earth who married the daughters of Adam. Those who from heaven to earth came, they are Elohim in the Bible.
The prophet Daniel in the Old Testament says that he was given a vision by God where he saw the earth, and it was in a destruction and a desolation of the world, in a vision taking him back to an ancient time.
In Hebrew, the verse says Bereshit, which is translated in the beginning. Elohim, God, created the heaven and the earth. How could it be that the story of creation starts with the second letter of the alphabet and not with the first letter, the alpha? If you add the aleph, which may have dropped somewhere along the writings, etc., of the Bible, it becomes not Bereshit, Av Reshit, the father of beginning, created Elohim, the heaven and the earth. So the supreme creator created the Anunnaki, Elohim, the heaven and the earth.
There were 15 major theological religious movements in the world before Christianity that taught exactly the same identical story of a Messiah who came to the earth, who was born in a manger, who died on a cross, who had 12 apostles, who died with a crown of thorns. Are you aware that there were 15 major religions that had the same identical teachings of Christianity? Most people aren't. And I'm very suspect of a 16th religion, which is copied off of 15 previous religions, and I am told that this one is the truth. I become very suspect. Of course, God's son, S-U-N, the Egyptians said had an evil brother. He was the prince of darkness. And he came out at night to rule the world. When God's son died and went away, the world was in the hands of the prince of darkness. And his name was Set, and he came out at sunset. The Egyptians said that that newborn son that came up every morning, his name was Horus. In Easter, we have Easter sunrise services, or Horus Rising. That's where we get the word horizon. I'm saying that there are 15 major religions in the world before Christianity that have taught the same thing. It is a very ancient, old story. That's why the Bible is called the greatest story ever told.
You want to remember, too, that all presidents have speech writers. All politicians in this country have speech writers.
They had a teleprompter. I mean,
they have teleprompters. They have idiot boards
with a teleprompter
because they're not speaking from the heart. The Bible talks about from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, from a man who is honest. These people are reading speeches by their masters who have written for them what they are to say and how they're to say it.
Ordo ab Chaos. order, a new world order through chaos, a crisis creation. Roosevelt said in politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, it was planned that way. And we're going to have it again. Oh, yes. By design? No question about it. What is the purpose? A new world order. That's what we're telling you. Now, you can wake up or you can stay asleep. If you stay asleep, you're going to die in your sleep. If you wake up in time, we might have a chance of turning this thing around.
When kids graduate from university, incidentally, the word graduate comes from two words, gradually indoctrinate. So consequently, when you graduate, you come out with a square mortar board. The mortar board is a symbol of masonry. This is why you go to college to get a degree. Consequently, you need to understand that all universities and colleges in the Western world operate under the Vatican. All universities and colleges. So if you want to save your money to send your kids to college, just remember you're sending them to a Jesuit, Catholic-dominated ancient Roman Empire system, whereby your children are to gradually be indoctrinated into a system of religion, politics, and theology. As far back as the 4th, 5th, and 6th century, we know that the escapades of the popes, many of them were homosexuals, most of them were murderers. They were all offsprings of bankers. The entire Vatican system was a banking system. Today's Uniform Commercial Code is based on the old Vatican canon law. So once you understand the church, government, politics are all interconnected, and the secret societies have been manipulating them all from day one.
There's nothing holy in Israel. Nothing. There's nothing holy in the Vatican. There is nothing holy in Salt Lake City. There's nothing holy in religion, period. If you go back and look at the history of the Rothschilds, you will find that Rothschild represented the Vatican. He was dealing for the Vatican. He was a Vatican banker appointed by the Vatican to deal for them, so that the Catholic Church would never be involved in all that terrible stuff going on in banking. We'll let the Jew do it. Then, of course, if something comes out, well, it's Jewish, obviously. No, it's your money that he was handling. There's a Masonic order in Europe called Propaganda Due. It's called P2. Jesuits, Opus Dei, Knights of Malta Masonic Order are connected directly to something called Propaganda Due, P2 Lodge of Freemasonry. P2 Lodge of Freemasonry is world famous to people who do research into criminal organizations, underworld organizations, drugs, human trafficking, pornography, violence, and it's all being orchestrated out of the Holy Father in Rome.